Hey mathematicians, this is a video walkthrough for pages 32 and 33 in our math student book, the big one. So this is after we've done some of uh, the activities using our Money Value Pieces app or the Money Value Pieces that you got in your student book. I mean, not your student book, in your student box. So you can use both of those to help you with this. I'm going to walk through and explain how I would solve these. And if you want to bring out those pieces, then please do that. So it says money and fractions. Note you can use the money value pieces to help solve these problems if you like. Write each amount as a decimal. So what we're going to do is write these as they would look as a decimal using our money, what it looks like with actual money. So 2/4 equals 50 cents. And so how we would write that is we would do our money sign. Can we see that? And then we would do $0.50. So money sign with the S and the line through it, 0.50. Okay, so 2/4 equals 50 cents. It's also half a dollar, right? 3 dimes and 5 pennies. So we're going to start with our money sign again. 3 dimes is 30 cents. 5 pennies is 5 cents. 30 plus 5 is 35. So there's $0 again and 35 cents. Okay, number 2, write each amount as a fraction of a dollar. So we're writing this as a fraction, which is just a different way to write as a decimal. So decimals and fractions are the same thing. They're written differently. One has a line between them and one has a decimal between them. So write each amount as a fraction of a dollar. 3/4. 3/4 of a dollar is 75 cents. So did you hear how I said 3/4 of a dollar? So 3/4 we could write as 3/4 of a dollar, or I said 75 cents, so we could also write it as 75 hundredths. So 3/4 is 3/4, or 75 hundredths is 75 cents, because remember, there's 100 cents in a dollar. Okay, 7 dimes is 7 times 10, because 7 dimes are 10 cents each. Dimes are 10 cents each, so 7 of those would be 70 cents. So we could write that as 7 tenths, because it's 7 out of 10, or out of the money amount, which is 70 hundredths. All right, number 3. And 7 tenths is just the simplified version of 7 70 cents. Okay, number 3. Use numbers, labels, sketches, or words to show your work. Mila has half of a dollar. Okay, I'm trying to think about how much that's worth. Claire has a quarter of a dollar, or a fourth of a dollar. How much money do the girls have together? Record your answer as a fraction and a decimal. So 1/2 plus 1/4, if we remember before, equals, let's see, 1/2 is 50 cents, 1/4 is 25 cents. So that is 3/4 of a dollar, or 75 hundredths. And we write that as a decimal, just like we would our money sign. We write that as money sign 75 cents. Okay, so, all right. Now I am on B. Henry has 1 1/4 dollars. Angel has $1.50. How much money do the boys have together? Record your answers as a fraction and a decimal. So 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. So I remember 1/4 is 25 cents. So if I write that as a decimal, I know that 1 1/4 is $1.25. Okay, let's do this a little, get down there a little closer. Plus, I know that half of a dollar is 50 cents. So I'm going to add that to the 50 cents. So I have $1.25 plus $1.50. I'm going to do the decimal first. $1 plus $1 is $2. 1 plus 1. I'm doing the dollars first. Now I'm going to do the change. 25 cents plus 50 cents. 25 plus 50 is 75 cents. So the total, the decimal version, is $2.75. How would I write that in fraction land? Well, I have two wholes, and I know that 75 cents is 3/4 of a dollar. 75 hundredths is 3/4 of a dollar. So I can write it as 2 3/4, or you got it, 2 75 hundredths. All right, challenge. I'll just do this real quick. You do not have to do this. This is optional, but I'm going to do it anyway. Iris has 1 3/5 dollars. Violet has 2 5/10 dollars. How much money do the girls have altogether? Record your answers as a fraction and a decimal. So 1 3/5 I know is the same as 1 6/10, because if I double the 5, I have to double the 3. So I know that 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10, which is 60 cents. And I know that 2 5/10 is the same as 2 5/10, or 2 1/2. 5 is half a 10. And when I add them up together, I get 1 plus 2 is 3. 6 plus 5 is 11. I'm doing this real fast because this is a little more advanced than we are doing right now, but we are doing this unit, so get ready. Now I'm at 3 11/10. I have to simplify that because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So this 11/10 is really 1 1/10. So now I need to add this back to the 3. I'm sorry I'm moving so fast, but so really it's 4 1/10, or 1/10 is 10 cents. So I did that real fast, and I didn't really explain it very well, but I just wanted to, for those of you who did try it and wanted to see, I just wanted to show you what that looks like. Remember, this C is optional, okay? All right, so now we're going to move to page 33 in our student book. Let's see. And I'm going to start at the top here. Sorry. Okay, we are back. Page 33, we're at the top. We're going to color in the strips to show the fractions named below. Each strip represents one whole. Example, 1/4. So you're saying 1/4, but there's 2 squares filled in here, Mr. Mack. Well, the 2 squares represent 1/4 of the whole. So if I break this up into 4 equal parts with big dark lines, and then I notice that one of those fourths is these 2 gray lines here, another fourth is these 2 here, another fourth is these 2 here, and the last fourth is the last 2. So if I said, okay, this is a brownie pan, I want to cut this into fourths. There's 4 kids. How many pieces would each kid get? Well, student 1 would get 2 pieces of brownie. That's a fourth of the whole, right? There's 8 total pieces, but a fourth of the total is these 2 pieces here. So 1/4 of the whole piece is actually 2 smaller pieces, right? So 3/8, well, this is nice because the 8 is the denominator is telling me how many pieces are total in this whole strip. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I just shade in 3 of those, we're done. So 1, 2, 3. There's my 3/8. Sorry, this camera's a little slower than the way Mr. Mack's talking. All right, so half. Here's another example. Just because there's a 2 on the bottom of the denominator, it's representing half of the whole. So if I cut this cut this strip in half, how many squares am I shading in? You got it, just this half over here. So it's really just 4 squares. So what that's saying is, okay, if I have 8 brownies and I just want to cut it in half because there's only 2 kids sharing, how many pieces would each kid get? You got it. Each kid would get 4 of those. So half of 8 is 4. 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. I'll write that down. 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. All right, 3/4. Here we go again. So just like we did for this example, we're going to cut this into fourths. So I'm going to cut it in half first. So now it's half, and I'm going to cut my halves in half. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal pieces. But I'm going to shade in 3 of them. So I'm going to shade in this one here, this fourth here. There's 1/4. I'm going to shade in here. There's 2/4. I'm going to shade in this one. There's 3/4. Okay, so how many pieces did I shade in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I shaded in 6 of the 8. And guess what? 6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. Okay, color in the strips to show the improper fractions named below, then write, then write the fraction as a mixed number. Each strip represents one whole. So 7/4, if I cut my strips into fourths again, and then I shade in 7 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's my 7/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many did I shade in altogether? Well, I shaded in 1 whole bar. That's where this 1 comes from. And then I shaded in 1, 2, 3. 3/4 of that second strip. So that's where the 3/4 come in. So let's do 12/8. Ooh, nice. 8 is our denominator. So really, I just have to count 12 little squares. So 1, because they're already split into 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 1 whole strip. I'm going to go ahead and write that down over here. Now I need to shade in. I'm at 8, so now I'm at 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So on the second bar, I actually have half of the total. So I am going to write in half. I have half of this total strip over here, or 4/8 we could have written. We could have also written 4/8, but I just already noticed that it's half here. Okay, so now 3/2. So how would we write 3/2, or 3/2? So what I'm going to do is cut each strip into halves. So the bottom number is the number I'm cutting my strip into. So 2 just means half. So I'm going to cut this first strip in half. I'm going to cut the second strip right in half. Now I have 4 halves total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, there we go. Now I'm going to shade in 3 of those halves. So I'm going to shade in 1, 2, 3. So there's my 3 halves. So how I write that as a mixed number is I have 1 whole strip shaded, and look at that, half of this strip shaded. So 12/8 is equivalent to 3 halves because they're both 1.5. 12/8 and 1/2 are the same number, they're the same fraction. All right, so now we're at 9/8. Ooh, we love eighths because these are split up into eighths. So we're just going to shade in 9 little squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so right now I have 9/8 shaded. So I have 1 whole strip shaded, and then 1 out of the 8 shaded in the second strip. Okay, let's keep moving. Fill in the blanks to show the unit fraction as a fraction of a dollar and as a decimal or money notation. Example, 1/10 is equivalent to 10 hundredths or 10 cents. Okay, so 1/2 is equivalent, whoops, there we go. 1/2 is equivalent to 50 cents, right? So we're going to write that as 50 hundredths, which is the same as 50 cents. Okay. 1/4 of a dollar is a quarter, and a quarter is worth 25 cents or 25 hundredths. And that 25 hundredths is the same as 25 hundredths or 25 cents. 3/4 is 3/4, right? Because we have 1/4 over here, 3/4 over here. So 3/4 is 75 hundredths, which is the same as 75 cents. And then 7/10, just like if we look up here, their example, 1/10 is 10 hundredths. So 7/10 would be 70 hundredths, or 70 over 100, which is 70 cents. Okay. Number 4 and 5 says, write in your math journal using numbers, labeled sketches, or words to explain your answer to the two problems below. Hint, use money value pieces to help. So it says, Esther had to solve 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/4. She wrote 5 cents plus 75 cents is equal to 80 cents, which is the same as 80 over 100, of 80 hundredths of a dollar. So 1/2 plus 1/4 equals 80 hundredths. Do you agree or disagree with her work? Well, I already noticed something that she did wrong, right? Because I know that half is really equal to 50 cents or 50 hundredths. And she wrote 5 hundredths or 5 cents. So I'm going to have to disagree with her on that one. And I'm going to say, I can write it right in here. 1/2 plus 1/4 is the same as 50 cents plus 75 cents. And 50 plus 75 is, let's see, 50 plus 50 is $1. Then we have an extra quarter. So really it's $1.25, right? Or 1 and 25 hundredths. So we did both the decimal and the fraction. And it says Tan had to solve 1/10 plus 1/5. He wrote 10 cents plus 20 cents equals 30 cents, which is the same as 3/10 of a dollar. So 1/10 plus 1/5 is 3/10. Do you agree or disagree? Well, if 1/10 is 10 cents, 1/5 is going to be twice as big as 1/10. So that would actually be 20 cents. So he is correct. We agree with that. And actually, he did all the work for us. So we can just say, yes, agree, because this is all done. He did a great job explaining that, actually. Okay, so that's page 32 and 33. That was kind of a long video, but if you were having problems with it, then hopefully that helped out. And I will talk to you on the other side. Bye.